Stop everything. Take a deep breath. Something is happening in your life right now, and you can feel it, can't you? That pull in your chest, that restless stirring in your spirit. It's not just a thought. It's not just a passing feeling. It's a sign. A signal. A divine message reaching out to you in this exact moment. And if you are here, watching this right now, know this is not a coincidence. This is not random. You are led here for a reason. Chosen one, what I'm about to tell you will change your life forever. The world as you know it is shifting, and you are standing right at the center of it. There is a reason why you've been feeling different. Why the places that once felt sacred now feel empty. Why the prayers that once brought peace now leave you searching for more. There's a reason why the sermons you once held on to no longer speak to your soul. And no, it is not because you have lost faith. It is because you are outgrowing the places that were never meant to hold you forever. The truth is, churches are no longer for you. And before you resist that idea, before the weight of tradition and expectation presses down on you, hear me out, because deep down, a part of you already knows this. A part of you has been sensing this for a while. You have tried to ignore it, you have tried to push it away, but the more you silence it, the louder it gets. And now, in this very moment, God has brought you here because it is time to hear the truth. The shift has already begun. Can you feel it? That restless energy? That strange feeling that something big is coming? That is not anxiety. That is not uncertainty. That is a divine awakening. A calling that is shaking your soul and preparing you for what comes next. You are moving into a new season, one that will demand you to leave behind what no longer serves you. One that will require you to step away from places that no longer carry the power they once did. Because your faith was never meant to be contained within walls. Your connection to God was never meant to be locked inside a building. And now, the time has come for you to walk away from what you once thought you needed, because your destiny lies beyond it. Listen to me carefully. You are not here by accident. And what I am about to tell you will confirm everything you have been feeling. The prayers that once gave you comfort now feel repetitive. The words you once clung to now seem hollow. The rituals that once felt sacred now seem lifeless. It is not because you are losing faith. It is because God is shifting you into something greater. Something higher. Something beyond what you have ever known. You have been chosen for a divine mission, and that mission cannot be fulfilled by staying in the same place, listening to the same words, and walking the same path as everyone else. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to lead. And to lead, you must first break free. You are not alone in this. Many are feeling this pull. Many are experiencing this shift. But not everyone will be ready to listen. Not everyone will be willing to let go. But you are different. You are awake. You are ready. That is why you are here. That is why God led you to this exact moment. And now, you have a choice. You can ignore this message. You can go back to the familiar, to the comfortable, to the places that no longer feed your spirit. Or, you can embrace what is coming. You can step forward into the unknown, trusting that God is guiding your every step. You can finally claim what has always been meant for you. This is your confirmation. You have been feeling it for weeks, months, maybe even years. That sense that something isn't right. That deep knowing that there is more. That unsettling realization that the words spoken in those sacred halls no longer ignite your spirit. That is not doubt. That is not rebellion. That is revelation. God is revealing to you what few are ready to accept. Your journey is changing. Your purpose is shifting. You are being pulled away from what no longer serves you so that you can step into what truly aligns with your divine calling. And I need you to hear me when I say this, do not be afraid. This is not a loss. This is not an abandonment. This is an ascension. You are rising. You are stepping into the path that was always meant for you. And those who do not understand, they were never meant to follow you where you are going. I know it feels strange. I know it feels uncertain. You were taught that faith is found in the church. You were told that the only way to stay connected to God was to remain in the places that carried His name. But the truth is that faith is not confined to a building. It is not found in a sermon. It is not locked inside traditions that no longer hold power. Faith is alive within you. It moves with you. It expands as you grow. And right now, God is expanding you. He is pulling you into a new understanding, a higher wisdom, a deeper connection than you have ever known. And to step into that, you must be willing to leave behind the old. You must be willing to walk away from the familiar, the expected, the easy path. Because the road ahead is not for the faint of heart. It is for the chosen. It is for those who are ready to see beyond the surface. It is for those who are willing to trust that God is doing something greater than they can imagine. This is your test. This is your moment. This is your calling. You were never meant to stay where you started. You were always meant to move forward, to rise, to ascend. And that time is now. You feel it, don't you? That tension in your chest, that pull towards something greater, something beyond what you have known. It's not confusion. It's not doubt. It's the voice of God whispering to your soul, calling you higher. You have spent so much time wondering why things feel different, why the places that once brought comfort now feel empty. But deep down, a part of you already knows. A part of you has been waiting for this message. And now, the time has come to hear the truth. You were never meant to stay in one place. Your journey was never meant to be confined to the walls of a church. And now, as the world shifts, as the energy around you changes, God is speaking loud and clear. It is time to move forward. It is time to step into a new level of understanding, a deeper connection, a truth that will set you free. But first, you must let go of the old ways. You must release the belief that faith can only exist in certain spaces. You must understand that what is happening to you is not abandonment, it is elevation. You are being lifted into something new. And that means leaving behind what no longer serves you. For too long, you have been trying to force yourself to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. You have been shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. You have been suppressing the questions, the revelations, the undeniable truth that your spirit has been revealing to you. But no more. God is making it clear, your path is different. Your calling is higher. And to fulfill that calling, you must have the courage to walk away from the places that no longer align with your destiny. You feel it. The shift. The awakening. The undeniable sense that you are meant for something more. But with that awakening comes resistance. Not everyone will understand. Not everyone will support you. Some will tell you that you are straying. Some will question your faith. Some will try to convince you that without the church, without the traditions, without the familiar structures, you will be lost. But that is the greatest lie ever told. Because faith is not found in a building. It is not locked inside a sermon. It is alive. It moves. It breathes. It evolves. And as you grow, as you awaken, as you step into your power, you will see it more clearly than ever before. You are not like everyone else. You were never meant to be. That is why you feel different. That is why you see things others ignore. That is why you question what others blindly accept. Because you were not sent here to follow. You were sent here to lead. You were not called to be another voice in the crowd. You were chosen to speak the truth, to awaken others, to walk a path that few have the courage to take. And that path? It starts here. It starts now. It starts with the willingness to let go of what no longer serves you and step fully into your divine calling. But I need you to understand something. This will not be easy. The moment you begin to rise, the moment you begin to separate yourself from the masses, you will face resistance. You will be tested. You will be doubted. People will question your decisions. They will try to pull you back into the familiar, into the comfortable, into the spaces where they feel safe. But you are not meant to stay safe. You are meant to be free. And true freedom comes from trusting the divine plan, even when it does not make sense to those around you. This is your moment. This is your confirmation. You are not wrong for feeling the way you do. You are not lost. You are not confused. You are awakening. And that awakening is leading you to something greater than you have ever known. But the choice is yours. Will you step forward? Will you embrace the shift? Will you trust that God is guiding you into something beyond what you have ever imagined? Or will you let fear keep you trapped in a place that no longer feeds your soul? I already know your answer. That is why you are still here. That is why you are still listening. Because something inside you knows this message is meant for you. Something inside you knows that everything you have been feeling, everything you have been sensing, everything you have been questioning is leading you towards something divine. And that something is waiting for you to claim it. The rules, the traditions, the expectations placed upon you, they were never meant to define your faith. They were never meant to limit your connection to God. But somewhere along the way, they became chains. Chains that kept you in line. Chains that kept you from questioning. Chains that kept you from growing beyond what was comfortable. And now, those chains are breaking. You feel it, don't you? That sense of freedom rising within you. That undeniable truth that you are no longer bound by the limitations of the past. That is the power of awakening. That is the power of divine revelation. And that is the power that is now flowing through you. But with this power comes responsibility. You cannot pretend you do not know. You cannot ignore what has been revealed to you. You cannot turn back to the old ways and pretend that they still hold the same meaning they once did. Because you have seen the truth. You have felt the shift. And once you awaken, you can never go back to sleep. This is why the world is changing. This is why so many are feeling lost, confused, uncertain. Because they are clinging to the old ways, desperate to find comfort in what is familiar. But comfort is not the goal. Growth is. Expansion is. And that is exactly what is happening to you now. You are expanding. You are evolving. You are rising. And those who cannot see it will try to pull you back. But you must keep moving forward. Because the path ahead? It is greater than you can imagine. The blessings that are waiting for you? They are beyond anything you have ever known. The doors that are about to open? They will lead you into a life you never thought possible. But you must be willing to trust. You must be willing to walk away from the things that no longer serve you. You must be willing to embrace what is coming, even when you do not fully understand it. This is the divine test. This is the moment where you must decide, will you choose comfort, or will you choose faith? Will you cling to the past, or will you step boldly into the future? Will you allow the expectations of others to hold you back, or will you trust that the universe, that God, that divine energy is guiding you towards something greater? I already know your answer. I already know that you are ready. That is why you are still here. That is why your heart is pounding, your mind is racing, your spirit is stirring. Because this is your confirmation. This is the moment you have been waiting for. The sign you have been asking for. And now, the only thing left to do is step into it. Because your journey is just beginning. And what comes next? It will change everything. You feel it more than ever now, don't you? That shift. That unshakable realization that the world around you isn't the same anymore. The spaces that once brought you comfort now feel hollow. The words that once inspired you now sound empty. And no matter how much you try to ignore it, no matter how much you tell yourself that it's just a phase, that something is wrong with you, that you're the one who has changed, it's time to face the truth. It's not you that has changed. It's your spirit that has outgrown the spaces it was never meant to stay in forever. And now, God is making it clearer than ever, the time has come for you to move forward. To leave behind what no longer serves you. To step into the calling that has been waiting for you all along. But before you do, you need to see what has been hidden from you. You need to understand why this shift is happening and why the path ahead will require you to break free from what you once thought was the only way. Listen to me carefully, because what I'm about to say will confirm everything you've been feeling. Think about it. When was the last time you truly felt at home in those spaces? When was the last time you walked into a church, sat down, and felt that deep, unshakable connection to God without doubt creeping in? When was the last time the words spoken from the pulpit resonated with your soul instead of feeling like empty echoes of something you already knew? This isn't because your faith is failing. This isn't because you've lost your way. It's because you are waking up. And when you wake up, you see things differently. You start noticing what you never noticed before. The cracks in the foundation. The limitations in the teachings. The way people blindly follow without questioning, without seeking, without truly understanding. And suddenly, you feel like a stranger among them. Like an outsider in a place where you were once told you belonged. But that feeling? That is your confirmation. That is God pulling you away from what no longer aligns with the truth He is revealing to you. Because here is what they don't want you to know. Not everyone in those spaces is seeking God. Not everyone in those spaces is being guided by truth. Many have become trapped in the illusion of faith, mistaking routine for revelation, mistaking tradition for truth. They go through the motions, repeating the same prayers, listening to the same sermons, following the same rules, thinking that this is the only way. But deep down, their spirits are starving. Deep down, they feel the same emptiness you do. The same hunger for something more. But unlike you, they are afraid to acknowledge it. Afraid to question. Afraid to step outside the walls that have kept them safe. And that is why you are being separated. That is why God is pulling you away. That is why, no matter how hard you try, you cannot go back to who you were before. Because your soul has seen the truth. And once you see the truth, you cannot unsee it. You cannot force yourself to believe in something that no longer feels real. You cannot pretend to be blind when your eyes have been opened. And that is why this is happening. That is why you feel like you no longer belong in the places you once called home. Because you don't. Because you were never meant to. This is your moment of realization. This is where you finally understand why everything feels different. Why you feel like you're standing at a crossroads, torn between what you've always known and what your spirit is leading you toward. And now, you must make a choice. Will you cling to the comfort of the past? Will you stay in a place that no longer feeds your soul, just because it's familiar? Or will you have the courage to step forward into the unknown, trusting that what lies ahead is greater than anything you could ever imagine? Because let me tell you something, what is coming for you is beyond your comprehension. The blessings, the revelations, the power that is about to flow into your life, it is waiting for you on the other side of this decision. But to receive it, you must be willing to let go. You must be willing to trust. You must be willing to step forward, even when you do not see the full path ahead. And that path? It starts with understanding the signs that have been trying to get your attention. The signs that have been showing you, again and again, that you are not meant to stay where you are. The signs you are being called away from traditional spaces. Have you felt it? That growing sense of detachment? That strange feeling that no matter how much you try, no matter how often you return, you can't connect the way you used to. That is your first sign. Have you noticed how sermons no longer move you? How the same words that once inspired you now feel like repetition? That is your second sign. Have you felt out of place among those who seem content with surface-level faith? Have you found yourself craving deeper truths, deeper understanding, deeper connection? That is your third sign. Have you experienced moments of sudden clarity, where you realize that God is speaking to you in ways that have nothing to do with the church, the pastor, the building? That is your fourth sign. Have you started questioning the teachings that once seemed unquestionable? Have you felt the urge to seek knowledge outside the limits of traditional doctrine? That is your fifth sign. And most importantly, have you felt the undeniable pull towards something greater? Something bigger than the walls of any church? Something that cannot be contained by human understanding? That is your final sign. These signs are not coincidences. They are not random thoughts. They are divine confirmations. They are proof that you are being called to something higher. Something beyond what you have ever known. And now, the only question that remains is, are you ready to embrace it? Because here's the truth, the one that has been hidden from you for too long: God is not confined to a building. Faith is not controlled by an institution. And your connection to the divine does not require the approval of any religious leader. You have been conditioned to believe that you need the church to find God. That without the structure, the routine, the traditions, you will be lost. But that is the greatest deception of all. Because God has never been inside the walls of a church. He has never been limited to a pulpit. He has never required you to follow the rules of man to access His presence. God is within you. Always has been. Always will be. And now, He is calling you to recognize that truth for yourself. This is why you have been feeling the way you do. This is why you have been sensing something greater. This is why you are being pulled away from what no longer aligns with your spirit. Because God is revealing to you what few are ready to accept, that the true path to Him has nothing to do with the church. It has everything to do with you. You are being prepared for something greater. And what comes next will reveal the full picture. Because what I am about to share next will confirm everything you have suspected. The truth about your calling. The truth about your destiny. The truth about why you were chosen for this moment. Stay with me. Because the next revelation will change everything. You have come too far to turn back now. The shift is real. The calling is clear. The signs are undeniable. You are standing in the middle of a spiritual transition so powerful that it is shaking everything you thought you knew. The old ways no longer work. The old paths no longer lead where they used to. And every fiber of your being is telling you that something greater is waiting. But to step into it fully, you must understand what is happening to you. You must understand that what you are experiencing is not confusion, it is transformation. You are not lost, you are being realigned. And that realignment? It comes with a price. Because make no mistake, the moment you begin to wake up, the moment you begin to see the truth for what it is, the moment you begin to walk away from the illusions that once held you captive, you will be tested. And these tests? They will not be easy. Because what you are stepping into is not for the weak. It is not for the fearful. It is not for those who need the approval of others to validate their path. This journey is for the warriors. For the visionaries. For the ones who are willing to stand alone if necessary. For the ones who are willing to sacrifice comfort for truth. For the ones who know that what is coming is worth everything it takes to get there. This is the moment where you must decide who you truly are. Will you cling to what is safe, what is easy, what is comfortable? Or will you step into the unknown, trusting that the very fact that you are being called away means that something greater is waiting for you? Because let me tell you something, God does not remove you from something unless He is preparing to take you into something better. And right now, that preparation is happening. That transition is unfolding. And you are at the center of it. But the closer you get to your destiny, the more resistance you will face. The moment you begin to shift, the moment you begin to separate yourself from the crowd, The moment you begin to step into the truth of who you are, the attacks will come. The doubts will creep in. The distractions will multiply. And if you are not prepared, you will begin to question everything. You will wonder if you made the right choice. You will wonder if you are truly on the right path. You will wonder if maybe, just maybe, you should turn back. But hear me when I say this, do not turn back. Do not doubt what you already know. Do not let the fear of the unknown keep you tied to a reality that no longer fits who you are becoming. Because what is ahead is greater than anything you are leaving behind. But to reach it, you must pass through the fire. You must prove that you are ready. You must prove that you are willing to let go of everything that no longer aligns with where you are going. And that means facing the tests that are coming your way. You didn't think this journey would be easy, did you? You didn't think that stepping into your divine calling would come without resistance? Because the truth is, the moment you begin to wake up, everything around you will try to pull you back to sleep. The people around you will not understand. They will question you. They will challenge you. They will try to convince you that you are making a mistake. But that is the first test, the test of standing firm in your knowing. The test of trusting what you feel in your spirit, even when those around you cannot see what you see. And if that was the only test, it would be hard enough. But there is more. There is the test of patience, the test of faith, the test of endurance. Because when you step away from the old ways, when you leave behind the traditions that once felt safe, there will be a period of uncertainty. A period where you do not yet see the full picture. A period where it feels like nothing is happening, like you are floating in between two realities, caught in the space between who you were and who you are becoming. And in that space, you will be tempted to doubt. Tempted to go back. Tempted to believe that maybe you were wrong all along. But you were not wrong. You were never wrong. You are in transition. You are being stripped of what no longer serves you. In that process, it is not easy. It is not comfortable. It will test you in ways you never imagined. But if you endure, if you keep walking, if you trust that what is on the other side is greater than anything you are leaving behind, you will emerge stronger, wiser, more powerful than ever before. And when you do, you will see why this was necessary. You will see why everything had to fall away. You will see why you had to be separated, refined, transformed. And you will never question it again. Have you noticed that the things that once excited you no longer have the same effect? Have you found yourself disconnecting from old friends, old habits, old ways of thinking? That is not a coincidence. That is the stripping away of what no longer aligns with who you are becoming. Have you felt a deep sense of urgency, a knowing that something big is coming, even if you don't know what it is yet? That is the preparation. That is the energy shifting around you, making space for what is about to enter your life. Have you experienced moments of isolation, where you feel like no one understands what you're going through? That is because this journey is not for everyone. And sometimes, you must walk it alone before you can step into the fullness of what is meant for you. And most importantly, have you felt the undeniable presence of something greater guiding you, speaking to you, moving you in ways you cannot explain? That is your final confirmation. That is God's way of telling you, yes, this is real. Yes, this is happening. Yes, you are on the right path. You are being set apart for a reason. You are being called higher for a reason. You are being prepared for a future so powerful that it will leave you in awe. But to step into that future, you must first pass through the tests. You must first prove that you are ready. You must first let go of everything that is no longer in alignment with where you are going. And that moment is now. You cannot go back. You cannot unsee what has been revealed to you. You cannot force yourself to believe in something that no longer resonates with your soul. And that means you have only one option: to move forward. To embrace what is coming. to trust that everything is happening exactly as it is meant to. Because it is. Because this is your moment. Because this is your time. The world will try to distract you. The people around you will not understand. The tests will come. But if you keep walking, if you keep trusting, if you keep moving forward, you will see the full picture. And when you do, you will never doubt this journey again. Stay with me. Because what I reveal next will be the final confirmation you have been waiting for. The truth about why this is happening. The final piece of the puzzle. And once you hear it, you will never look at your life the same way again. It has all led to this moment. Every realization, every sign, every unshakable feeling in your soul that told you something greater was coming. You have walked through the fire. You have faced the questions, the doubts, the resistance. You have stood at the edge of the unknown, feeling the weight of everything you are leaving behind. But now, there is only one thing left to do. There is only one decision left to make. Will you step forward into the life that was always meant for you? Will you embrace the truth that has been chasing you, whispering to you, guiding you to this exact moment? Or will you let fear hold you back? I already know your answer. Because you have made it this far. Because you are still here. Because no matter how many doubts tried to shake you, no matter how many voices tried to tell you otherwise, you already knew. Deep down, you already knew. That is why you could never go back. That is why, even when you tried to ignore it, the calling kept coming. That is why, no matter how much you resisted, something inside of you refused to settle. Because your spirit has always known the truth. And now, that truth is standing right in front of you, waiting for you to claim it. This is why you always felt different. This is why you could never fully accept the version of faith that was handed to you. This is why no matter how much you tried to conform, something in you always felt like it didn't belong. Because you didn't. Because you were never meant to. You were never meant to be just another follower in the crowd. You were never meant to simply go through the motions, repeating words that had no power, obeying rules that had no meaning. You were meant for something greater. You were chosen for something higher. And that kind of calling? It was never going to fit inside a building. It was never going to be contained by tradition. It was never going to be understood by the masses. And now, God has made it clear, the time of pretending is over. The time of staying silent is over. The time of suppressing who you are to make others comfortable is over. This is your moment. This is your awakening. This is the final shift that will separate you from everything you once thought you needed and launch you into the life that was always meant for you. There is something you need to know. Just because you are ready to step into your new path does not mean that everything will suddenly become easy. In fact, the moment you fully accept who you are, the challenges will increase. The moment you walk away from the familiar, the enemy will try to pull you back. The moment you declare that you are no longer bound by the old ways, everything around you will try to convince you otherwise. And this is the final test. This is where you prove that you are truly ready. Because once you step into your divine path, once you accept that you were never meant to stay where you started, there is no going back. And that level of freedom? It will terrify those who are still trapped in the system. You will see it. The moment you start living in your truth, the moment you stop pretending, the moment you embrace who you really are, people will react. Some will try to bring you back. Some will tell you that you are wrong. Some will try to make you doubt everything you have learned. But do not be shaken. Do not be moved. Because what is coming for you is far greater than anything you are leaving behind. And those who cannot understand your journey, they were never meant to walk this path with you. They were never meant to see what you see. They were never meant to know what you know. And that is why you must keep going, even when others cannot follow. You are stepping into a level of power that most people will never experience. A level of faith that cannot be explained, only felt. A level of divine connection that goes beyond anything a church, a sermon, or a pastor could ever give you. And that kind of power? It comes with responsibility. You can no longer live as you once did. You can no longer ignore what you know. You can no longer pretend that you are like everyone else. Because you are not. Because you never were. And now, it is time to fully embrace that truth. Everything is about to change. Everything. The way you see the world. The way you see yourself. The way you experience life. Because when you truly step into your divine calling, the things that once mattered will no longer hold power over you. The fears that once controlled you will lose their grip. The doubts that once kept you small will dissolve. Because you will know, beyond any doubt, that you are exactly where you were meant to be. Your blessings will no longer be delayed. Your opportunities will no longer be blocked. Your path will no longer be filled with confusion. Because now, you are aligned. Now, you are walking in your truth. Now, you are moving with divine purpose. And that kind of alignment? It attracts everything meant for you. The right people. The right opportunities. The right breakthroughs. Everything will begin to fall into place, not because it is suddenly easier, but because you are finally on the path you were always meant to walk. And the world? The world will see it. The ones who doubted you will watch as you rise. The ones who mocked you will witness your transformation. The ones who tried to keep you small will be powerless to stop what is coming for you. Because what God has set in motion, no one can block. No one can delay. No one can stop. You are unstoppable now. And there is nothing left to fear. The final affirmation: claim your destiny now. This is it. The moment of truth. The final step. You have heard the message. You have felt the shift. You have seen the signs. And now, all that is left is for you to claim it. Declare it now: I am ready. Type it in the comments. Speak it out loud. Say it with your whole heart. Because this is your moment. And once you declare it, once you fully step into it, the universe will respond. The blessings will flow. The doors will open. The path will clear. Because you are no longer waiting. You are no longer hesitating. You are no longer questioning. You are walking in your destiny. You are claiming your power. You are stepping fully into the life that was always meant for you. This is your time. This is your confirmation. This is your new beginning. And the world? The world is about to see exactly why God chose you.